Well, good morning and welcome to Cityline. We are live every Thursday morning, and this morning is the 7th of November. A little bit foggy out there, so please drive careful. We have a wonderful hour ahead of us. Later on in the hour, we'll be talking with the Tacoma Historical Society, and they are here to talk about the Veterans Day observance coming up. We cannot thank our veterans enough for what they have done for us. So Brian and former Mayor Bill Barsma will be in the house. And then we have Proctor Holiday Events. You're going to ask, what is that? Well, I'm not going to give it away, but I will give you a hint that it has to do with the holidays coming up in Proctor, so you definitely want to stay tuned for that. And then I have a special little sniglet for you. The Humane Society is here. And you're going to have to pay close attention because we're only going to get a short amount of time, but they are here with the pet of the month. And when you see this pet, your heart is going to melt, and we'll be giving you information on how you can give this pet their forever happy home. And then Washington College Savings is here. It's time, and it's always time to talk about saving for your children's future. So they're here to talk about the GET program and the Dream Ahead program. And then with me right now is an organization that I love so much. And I cannot believe it's time again for this, but after all, it is November. We're talking about the Children's Museum of Tacoma's Gingerbread Jamboree. So please join me in welcoming Brenda Morrison. You are the Deputy Director of the Children's Museum of Tacoma. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you here. And later on in this segment, I'm going to walk over to the gingerbread table, and we're going to have Alicia Mendez and Layla and Julius will be here to help us in their little elf ways. But first off, we want to talk about just real quickly that the Children's Museum of Tacoma, as always, is going through a wonderful metamorphosis, because I think about children like butterflies. They're always improving. And you have a new name, Green Trike. We are slowly working ourselves into that name, aren't we?
We are. So as an organization, we are now called Green Trike.
Yes.
And the Children's Museum of Tacoma is one of the many programs of Green Trike that serve children in our community.
Yeah, and so we're slowly working toward that. We had Tanya on the couch, but it's every chance we get to put that beautiful image of a green trike, our first taste of freedom as a child, in there. We're going to keep doing it. So let's talk about the Gingerbread Jamboree, because as I said to you before we went on the air, Tacoma is a hot place to live. It's always been a hot place to live. I've been here for 27 years. But as we look at the papers and we see that people are moving here in droves, and those people are bringing children with them, the Gingerbread Jamboree is going to see some big numbers coming up here, in addition to the 2,000 you already have that attend this event. So tell us about the event. What do we need to know?
Well, Gingerbread Jamboree is a great way to kick off the holiday season, and it's a tradition for many people now. But it's a gingerbread house building workshop hosted by Green Trike and the Children's Museum of Tacoma. We meet up at the Hotel Murano's Bicentennial Pavilion, so it's a big, beautiful room decorated for the holidays. We have about 500 people that come to each session during the holiday weekend, and we decorate gingerbread houses.
Yes.
We have a ton of volunteers that come in and help us prepare. We pre-build 900 gingerbread houses for the event.
Say that again.
900.
Did you say 900?
900 gingerbread houses. Thank you, volunteers.
Thank you, volunteers.
So many wonderful volunteers that help us. And families get to come in and decorate their houses. We have these huge candy buffets filled with so much variety of delicious treats. I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, tasty stuff.
Absolutely.
And a cocoa bar so that you can have lots of cocoa treats and experiment with different kinds of cocoa and really enjoy the moment with your family. There's holiday music. Santa is at the event at every session, and it's lovely. Santa comes around to each and every table and chats with you about your gingerbread houses and takes pictures with you.
I love this.
So it's a warm, sweet tradition.
I love, when I think about my time when my child was young, when Olivia was little, if you want to strike terror into this mother, you have a child go, can we make a gingerbread house? And then I go, but we did this, and it was so much fun. For parents that just don't have the time in their life or the inclination, this to me is a dream come true, because it has everything. It even has an elf that will help. Isn't that correct?
There is an elf that will help you.
Unlike the elf on the shelf, this is an elf that helps.
Again, we rely on our amazing group of volunteers to help us pull this event off. And we have dozens of elf volunteers who are at each session. They help you find your seat. They'll bring you extra candy if you need to get a few more items that to finish your gingerbread house. They also help clean up when you're done. So oftentimes for us, when we think about building a gingerbread house at home, the messiness of it, the, you know, all of the cleanup afterwards, the stickiness.
That's what makes me run screaming.
Right, but you don't need to worry about that with Gingerbread Jamboree. We take care of all of it, and it gets messy, and that's okay.
I bet it does get messy. I bet it does. So speaking of everything that we need to bring, what does the VIP table include? Because I know for a fact, one would think this is only for children and their parents or extended family, but I've seen bunco groups there. I've seen office parties there. I have seen neighborhood council members there. Yeah. So it's something for everybody. So let's talk about this VIP.
The VIP table is something fairly new, and it's really fun. We have a limited number of them for each session, but it includes 4 houses and up to 10 guests. You have a reserve table, so you know that you could reserve it with other families, so you know you'll be able to sit together.
Get those pictures.
And get your pictures and have some creative fun together. And you get an elf that's dedicated to your table, so your elf will go do candy runs for you and help do frosting runs and make sure that you're getting lots of photos taken of your table throughout the event.
Will the elf give shoulder massages for
I think we could maybe
those
make
uptight
that happen.
parents who have to make everything perfect like
I think
me?
we could make that happen. We could probably even get an elf that could do some cocoa runs.
There we
or maybe
go.
take the kids out to the rotunda for a dance party just to wiggle out some
to
of
wiggle
the
all that sugar out?
Yeah.
So how much does this cost?
It varies. So the VIP table is $250.
That's a deal.
It's a good deal for what you get with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So how long has this tradition been going on?
Gosh, that is a really good question that we have debated over the years. We're not exactly sure how long. I personally have memories of it being about 1998 and taking my 5-year-old niece to Gingerbread Jamboree to volunteer, and she's 27 now, so it's definitely been going on for a while. What we have seen over the years is that Gingerbread Jamboree is the kind of event that families can really grow with. So we have children that started with us a long time ago. They're in college now, or they might even be parents, and they're still coming back every year to the Gingerbread Jamboree. So it's really a multi-generational event that you just never grow out of.
These pictures are just incredible. And as you said, these kids that have grown up with this, I keep wondering how old these children are now. I'm guessing they're like 10 or 11. Speaking of 10 or 11, hello there. I have moved over to the gingerbread table, and I want to say hello to Alicia Mendez. It's so good to see you again.
Hey.
We have some special elves that we brought with us. Would you introduce our elves to us?
So this is Layla, whose birthday is actually Gingerbread weekend. And then
birthday.
Julius, and she'll be 8 this year, and Julius here is gonna be 10 this year.
Okay, so I remember when we first started doing this, we had to put, yep,
Stools.
we had to put them on boxes because
no
they were tiny little people. Yeah. I'm going to cry the day that you're going to say they're too old. They don't want to show
have
up
jobs.
anymore.
They
have jobs. So, okay, so let's talk about how do you decorate a gingerbread house? And you guys can start in. And do we give our participants a tutorial? Because it's not a given that all of us have ever decorated a gingerbread house.
That is true, but we like to see the creations that people come up with. It's amazing what kids will do and what they think of. And we give you the house that's pre-made on a slab, frosting, candy, cereal, pretzels, whatever your heart could imagine, our elves will find for you. People have been coming and bring decorations or special candies that they've gotten from around the world or vacations. People have like Pinterest-worthy log cabins made out of pretzels and Chex Mix.
So are you telling me people do their research for this?
Yeah, there is I don't want to say there's a competition. There's not an official competition.
That word popped into my thought bubble. I'm like, so there's some people who really take this like hardcore, I'm going to make a village out of this.
Ooh.
We could bring Matchbox cars and we could bring little Legos and people and make a village. And you're like, thanks a lot, Amanda.
Yeah,
Thanks
no,
a lot.
I think this year we might make a sanctuary, an animal sanctuary.
Oh, I love that. So what do we do with the houses after people decorate them?
They can take it home.
They get to take it home. So we have boxes for sale at a very small price, but you can bring cookie sheets or boxes that you get from Costco to bring your masterpieces safely home, because we all know that Tacoma's hills, so you got to be careful.
Got to be careful there.
But yeah, just make sure that your masterpiece gets home safely. And then we like to leave ours out on Christmas night.
That's how we used to do it.
The elves, if they need a little
yes.
extra, sugar rush.
That's right, absolutely.
Or reindeer.
I mean,
they get sick of carrots.
Well, they
need
do.
a little bit more.
And gingerbread's good fiber. We'll just leave it at
It's
that.
true.
Exactly. So how does one sign up for this event?
So you just go to our website at playtacoma.org/gingy, and you will find the different ways to do it. You just make sure that you pay per person. Make sure you get at least one house to decorate. We like to kind of go in as a family. We sometimes have a plan, but it always just goes wherever the candy takes us that day.
I love that. You know what? That might be a great T-shirt for me. It goes where the candy takes us.
I could get behind that.
I could
little
too,
satin
absolutely.
jacket.
Absolutely. So if I don't want to deal with the crowd, because as Brenda said, we have four basically times to sign up, and we have 500 people per slot. That's 2,000 people. It's a crowd.
It's a lot of elves.
If I don't want to deal with it, what do I do?
You can have a private gingerbread party.
Yes.
I know. I used to host them. I might host them this year, maybe. I don't know. That's so much fun. So you can have a private party. You get up to 30 guests, 10 houses, all of the frosting and candy your friends might want. We'll take care of the mess. You come, show up, get the sugar rush, go run it off in the museum. Or we've done it where we've gone to people's houses and done it in their house.
Gosh.
And then we just magically show up and set it up and clean it up. And
God bless you.
It's like we were never there, so.
I want to say thank you to you and to our elves and Brenda on the couch. And get your reservations, because this is truly a holiday tradition you don't want to miss. We have much more to come on Cityline. We're going to play some musical chairs. We'll be right back.